comments on TikTok up, so give me just a second here. Let me try and figure what's going on. I think I have to refresh a couple times. Hello, hello, there we go. I've got comments up. Perfect. Okay. So this little tiered tray set is super, super cute. Let me get organized here. It comes with 2 bunnies, a banner, a flower cart, and a bouquet of flowers. So here's bunny number 1. It's a little girl. And then we have bunny number 2, which is a little boy bunny with some overalls on and a little pocket there. Okay. And then I'm going to paint these for sure today. And then it comes with this bouquet of flowers. So all of the greenery, and then it comes with little tulips on that we'll paint on top. So we'll paint that today. Comes with 5 little tulips. And then you can kind of wrap it in plastic or like a paper bag on the bottom to make it look like it's, you know, a bouquet you give to somebody you buy at the store. It's got the little plastic wrapped around it. So we'll paint those today for sure. We'll see how much time I have. This is more of a detailed paint kit. And so we might run out of time. But then we have this super cute little cart. So it's got the striped roof here, and then a little piece that goes across there. No, down here, sorry. And then a little sign, carrot patch, goes right in there. And then it comes with these super cute little carrots that you kind of just want to glue wherever. So it's not a flower cart, I guess it's a carrot cart, right? And then it comes with its own little stand. So you'll get this little stand, you'll glue this on here, and then it slots into there. So let me just get rid of these pieces. And I don't think I have the right stand with me. Well, no matter, it would slot right in here like this, and then you'd be good to go. So I'll have the right stand when we paint the flower cart together. So I'll probably break this up into 2 days. So there's that other piece. And then the last item that comes with the kit, so you've got the carrot cart, the flowers, the 2 bunnies, and then this cute little stamp banner. So how these work is you get the base stamp, and then it's got a little frame that sits on top of it, and then it's got another piece. So this is a little flag that says spring. So there's one, and then we have, and it's got the little cents for the stamp price here, and then a little word. So this one's 10 cents hot with the bunny, and that sits there. And this one has that frame. So there's another one, and then I won't go through all of it. Well, there's only a few more. This one is the Easter egg. So you'll decorate the Easter egg and glue that together with its frame. And then we have one that says bloom, and it's got the tulip that sits on it. And then the last one is the carrot, and just check out how cute that carrot is. And then the frame sits on here like this. So, I feel like I've got the wrong one here. We'll have to look into that. Okay, so we'll do those ones at another time. I'm going to focus on these little bunnies today and paint these with you guys. And maybe show you a few new tricks for painting tiered tray sets. One thing I like to do is, if you are a scrapbooker or paper collector like I am, I typically go to my paper packs for color inspiration. you know, you get a paper pack like this and they have all the matching colors. So I really love these colors. And so I've got my Golden Sunset by Apple Barrel. I've got a light mocha, which I might do for one of the bunnies. Again, Apple Barrel. And then I've got this crushed coral from Folk Art for this pink color. It's a little bit darker than this. I think I do have a lighter pink here. I might, but it's a little bit brighter, so I'm not sure if I'll use that. But that's Cameo Pink. The blue, this darker turquoise color, I'm going to use Tuscan Teal by Apple Barrel. And then for, this is not really a black that you're kind of seeing in here, a super dark gray. And I have black here that I might just mix my own colors. But this is Zinc by Deco Art, and it's a darker gray. And then the green really isn't a good match for this green, but I didn't have anything other than this, so we're just going to go with it. This is a Kelly green. It's a little bit brighter than the green in the paper pack, but it's close. And then I have this granite gray, which is a light gray. I might paint one of the bunnies that color, or maybe both of them. I'm not quite sure. So anyways, just a quick tip. If you have paper packs laying around and you're getting ready to paint a piece and you're not sure what colors would go good together or what colors you want to use, you can draw inspiration from paper packs. And that's typically what I do for color inspiration. The other thing with these cute little kits is you can just use the paper to decorate your piece with. So for this little bunny here, I'm going to put a little skirt on her, and I'm going to actually use this paper for it, which will help tie all my colors together. And then for those of you on TikTok, I just want to mention that we do have a Facebook group, a private Facebook group called Crafty Living, and the link is in our bio. So head on over and join us in that group where we share, you know, all of the tutorials for these. We also share full tutorials for crafty goodness, and we also share, I can't think, VIP coupons for when new product comes out. Okay, so I'm using masking tape just to hold down these little pieces. I typically try and find all my little pieces to start with. I'll use masking tape to hold them in place. It also helps me from losing them, and I also can move them around a little bit. So those are the small pieces there. And I've got my paper ready, so let's see. Let's do 2 brown bunnies. Let's just paint them the same. So I'm going to use this light mocha from Apple Barrel, and I'm going to use a baby wipe to apply the paint. So I've just got a baby wipe here. I'm going to wrap it around my finger and apply the paint there. And I don't want to get too much paint on there. I want to create kind of a stain. So I'm just going to go through and wipe this on. And this color isn't too much different than the actual wood color. So it's not going to change too much, but it's just going to smooth out the wood there and get rid of some of those wood grain pieces. I also like to keep my edges of my tiered tray sets as black as possible, or dark brown, I should say, from the laser cutter. I think that just really helps all the pieces kind of just pop. And so when I'm painting my pieces, I'll tend to start in the center and push out instead of pulling across, which will then, you know, cause a buildup of paint on your edges. So let me know in the comments what kind of weather you're having today. Say hi. Come chat with me while I paint. So here we go. We've got just that nice soft tan color on our little bunny here. The other, I really didn't need to paint his head. I forgot we had the headpiece there. That was very silly of me. All I really needed to do was paint his arms and his chest that we see there. So I did a little extra work while I was talking. That tends to happen. I kind of get lost in what I'm doing as I'm talking. Apparently, I can't do two things at once. There we go. Get this cute little head filled out here. Okay, there we go. So we've got this cute little head. And then I'm going to take just this, I don't know what it's actually called, a poker. But I got it at the Dollar Tree. And I'm going to go through and clean up my, I better set it down here. Just kind of pull any paint out of my lines here to bring those back and make them nice and sharp. You could use just a needle for this. You don't actually need to have this tool, just something sharp just to clean out those lines. And that really just helps with that detail. I'll do that the same here on his little body and pull out the detail on his arms and his little coveralls. So we were having some pretty nice weather for a while, a couple days. It was looking promising, but now we're back to being cold, which is a bummer. A bummer. Okay. So for the little girl, her ears are pointing down, and I'm going to just paint right up to this line and right over that line because the little headband sits on here. So you'll see the little headband sits right there. So this line right here is just an indication to you that that's where that headband is going to sit. So I don't really need to worry about if I paint over that line. I can paint right up to it and over it because that part will be covered. Okay. So then I'll just take this little tool here and clean out the engravings or the score marks. This little kit is so super cute, and it's just a little more detailed than some of the kits that we have, but you could definitely just simplify it a little bit too, and not worry about pulling the paint out of the engravings, and just kind of keep it to some solid colors. And that's really the nice thing about all our kits is you can finish them however you want, however works best for you. All right, so I've got my bunnies painted, and for this piece for the girl bunny, right here is where her head's gonna come down. So I'm going to paint this white, I think, to have a little bit of some lace under her chin or on her dress. And then we're going to paint it a color, and then we'll come over with that pattern to put in what would be a skirt, essentially. So there we go. Hello, welcome. So let's start with the little boy bunny, and I'm gonna paint his trousers or his coveralls this Tuscan teal. And I'm gonna grab another baby wipe for this step. You could use baby wipes. Sometimes I like to use a paintbrush. I have makeup sponges out. Sometimes I'll grab a makeup sponge. What I like about baby wipes for some of these smaller pieces is it just helps me control the paint a little bit and not get it on the edge. With a brush, sometimes as I'm brushing, my brush might fall off the edge like this as I'm pulling it, and then I end up getting paint on the edge of my item, and I try and keep all my edges nice and black. If you get paint on the edge, though, with a wet rag or a baby wipe, you can definitely just wipe that away too before it dries. So I like to give all my pieces the base color or my base coat that I'm going to be using. And then I'll go back and add some shading and highlights and detail marks. I got my little pocket there. And it would be cute to have that pocket be a coordinating color. I might bring in some of this paper onto the pocket, maybe cut out one of these little flowers or something to put on there, or maybe just a leaf or something. Kind of looking at this and seeing if there's something usable. Okay, there's that. And then I'm going to take and actually use a brush, and I'm not going to do I was going to do the little lace under her chin there, but I'm going to do her dress first. So let's do her dress in this pretty pink. And using a baby wipe for this. And the reason why I want to paint her dress first, as opposed to that lace, is that way I can use my baby wipe and come right up to that lace. And if I accidentally get that pink color in the lace area, I'm going to go back over it with the white anyways, and so I can fix that really easily. If I painted that lace first, then I'd have to be super careful with the pink color. And so sometimes you just kind of want to think about what step you want to do next to make it a little bit easier for you. And you'll notice I also just painted right into this ear area, because she's going to come and sit right on her face. We'll sit right on top and we won't see that anyways. So I can be a little bit messy. I'm always about the ease of painting and allowing me to be a little bit sloppy. Okay. Let's see, we've got that done, we've got this done. I think I'm going to put a second coat on these faces here, just to help fill in that wood a little bit more. I'm still seeing some of that wood grain kind of coming through. So we'll grab, I have a baby wipe here for every color, and we'll just put that second coat in and get a nice finish on Their little faces here. Okay, so here I've got a little bit of that paint kind of fell off the edge. So I'm just going to take another part of that baby wipe and wipe it away. And then I also got some right here. So it wipes away fairly easy if you catch it while it's still a little wet. And if you don't and you find out later that it's dry and it's not wiping away, you can sand it a little bit. Take a little sanding block after it, or you can, I've used a brown or black Sharpie or marker for that matter, and just pretty much mark over the painted parts. And then you're back with that nice black edge. Okay, that's better. That's better. I don't see any of that wood anymore. So as you hop on, let me know if you've ever painted a tiered tray set, or even done a kind of a wood sign or a wood kit like this. I'm trying to keep my eyes on comments. Hello, hello, welcome. It would be super annoying, but it'd be nice to have a little bit of announcement when people pop in, especially when you're doing videos like this where you're up above, your phone's up above and you're having to read upside down, or not looking at your phone the entire time. Okay. There he is. How cute, how cute. All right, let's put a second coat on the overalls here. And I'm not worried about filling in the little score mark where his little pocket is going to be, because we're going to add the pocket right on top. So I'm not going to try and clean that out. That will be fine. All right. I'm going to put green on the leaves here. We'll get a coat on that, and then we'll do the headband. And I was going to do green on the headband, but I think this would be really pretty with the colors in that paper. So I'll do that. And then maybe even the lace is this golden sunset or some coordinating color. Maybe the lace is green. There we go. And I'm doing nice light coats, not heavy. It dries a whole heck of a lot faster if we just do really light coats. And I don't want to lose the lines in my leaves here, so I'm doing lighter coats makes it a little bit easier to clean up these lines as well. You're not dealing with a bunch of paint in the lines. And half the time, if it's a light enough coat, you don't even need to dig out those lines. There we go. And that's just coat one. You can still see some of those wood grains kind of peeking through, so we'll put a second coat on those as well. All right, let's paint this little, not bonnet, headband. Did I call it bonnet last time? I'm not sure. I just want to keep thinking bonnet. Maybe that's because these little bunnies make me think of that style of decorating little animals with bonnets, which I read somewhere that, I don't know if I read it or saw something, but remember the geese with the bonnets that people used to decorate with? Kind of crazy. Oh, that's going to be so cute. That pink and that yellow is really pretty together. Okay, so let's, this is going to sit here. Let's add some shading to our bunnies. So I am going to pull out this territorial beige. I just want a little bit of a darker color. And I am going to just use a, if I can find it, a brush that has an angle to it. This one might be a little small. Let's see if I can find just a little bit of a bigger one. I typically don't paint with these types of brushes. This one might be a little too big. Of course, I've got one too big, one too small. The round brush is my brush of choice, typically. But I just want to put the, oh, here we go. Kind of an in-between here. We'll see which one works best. I just want to add some shading to kind of just these edges. And this one is kind of beat up. Okay, give me just one more second. I got one more little pot here I can look through. Let's see, is this a good one? Yes, this is a good one. Okay, so I'm going to use this brush, and I've got my water here. I just want to get it wet, some water in there. And I want to just get paint right on the very tip. And we're going to take the tip where that darker color is, and I'm going to go along the outside of my bunny. Oh, I lost it. And so we're creating kind of, because we have water on our brush, it's almost like a kind of a wash. I don't know if you can see that quite yet. So you can kind of see where it's wet, right? And because we only had paint right on the tip and I went right along that edge, that dark is just kind of right there and creating a nice shadow or shade. And this kind of takes a little bit of practice to make sure that you don't have too much paint. And I'm going to try and get just the back side of his little ear there. There we go. And then I want to put a little bit along the top of his head, under his ears. It's kind of a fun, different way of creating some dimension on your piece. And you absolutely don't have to do this. This is just something different, showing you something different way to do it. And it's really subtle. You can barely see some of those shadows or shading. And I'm going to go under his face with that. And then for the body, we're gonna hit right under where his head would sit. So we're gonna add a little bit of that dark right there. You'd have a shadow right underneath there. And then we'll go down his arm next to his coveralls on both sides. If you don't have enough water in your brush for this method, your paint's going to catch and look more solid. We really want it to be watered down a bit so that it flows nicely and it's easy to pull down your piece. So you can kind of see that shadow right in there, very subtle. All right, so for the little girl, we'll do the same. I'm going to put the shadow under the bonnet area there. And like applying watercolor right into that line there. And we'll get it under on this kind of small section here on the ear. The other side there. And I love that her ears are kind of pulled down around her face on this kit. I think that is just so adorable. So there we go. Just a little bit of water with your paint. And you really don't necessarily need this. You could use a really nice pointed round brush for that and just make sure that it's watered. This just helps distribute the paint just a little bit. So right here, when we put the paint on the tip and with that water, it kind of helps distribute it out with that length of the brush. And so that's why this brush is a little bit easier for this method, but you could definitely use this. Okay. Let's see, we could probably, let's do their little ears and cheeks, and then we can work on their faces after that dries. So a couple different ways you can do the face. If I can get my pink out here. You could use a baby wipe and just get the smallest amount of paint on there and just kind of scrub it in. Or you can use a stencil brush or just a brush for that matter. I'm going to show you how to do it using the stencil brush. And this is kind of like applying blush to your face. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to dip my brush in that paint. And I have tons of paint right here. And if I were to go in and apply that, it would look super globby and messy. So what I'm going to do is I got it on my brush and now I'm going to go to another spot on my palette and kind of just start twirling my brush around and depositing most of that paint. That also helps distribute the paint to all my bristles and get rid of most of that. So now what I can do is, this is a really big one for my little bunnies. I can come out and it's going to just deposit the smallest amount of pink in here. And I might have to switch stencil brushes if I can get at least the ears with this big guy. And it's just a really soft, just like if you were putting makeup on your cheeks, right? It's just super soft, barely noticeable. A little bit of pink in those ears. We got that one. And we'll do her ears. And there we go. Okay, this is going to be too big for little cheeks. I have a feeling. So we're going to go to another method, and I'm just using a round brush for this and pulling some of that pink off to the side, and I'm going to water it down a lot. So we're just creating, again, another little wash for those little cheeks here. So I'm just going to bring in some of that pink. Put a little circle of that pink there and there. And then if it gets to be too much, you can kind of just dab it and pull off some of that pink. And we can use our fingers and kind of push it around too. And just kind of play with paint and see what's going to work best with what you have. And that's the fun part of creating these little kits, is you get to play and kind of go, okay, that worked this time. They look like they're funky little eyes, but they're not eyes quite yet. That will dry and we'll be left with just pink. Trust me on that. Okay, so let's let the little the blush dry, and I'm going to come back and put another coat on my greenery. And a super light coat, so I keep the paint out of my score marks and keep those nice crisp lines. There we go. Okay, and then let's paint these little flowers while our faces dry. So we'll paint a couple of them in this yellow. In a super light coat, I want to be able to see those petal lines there. Remember, if you fill them too much with your paint, you can just go back with that tool and pull that paint out. And then we'll put some pink ones in. Brown brush. I got a little bit of paint on that edge, so I'm just pulling that paint off. There we go. All right. So let me see how my faces went here. I am not exactly thrilled with the faces as is. I'm not too happy with my little blush marks there. They just were a little too harsh. I wanted them to be a little less noticeable. So we're going to just get rid of them and pass on doing the blush. So we're going to let that dry. Then we can come in and put in the lace, which I'm going to do in this yellow here. Match her hat or her headband. Okay, and then let's add some detail to the headband. I'm going to bring in some of this yellow, and I'm going to add a little bit of brown to it. I have that territorial beige on my palette, and I'm going to mix just a tiny bit just to get a darker yellow and just bring that darker color right under kind of where this little loop is right here, this little tie, and then also on the other side. And to create a shadow, it doesn't have to be dramatically a different color. Just a titch different really just brings in another fun color, fun item, dimension into that. So then I'm just adding a little bit on both sides of that little knot there. And just a tiniest a bit there. And if you get too much, you can just go back to the original color and pull that back out and do a little bit of blending. Okay. I'm going to get the white out and I'm going to add some little polka dots to her bonnet. So I'm going to use the back of my brush here. Actually, I'm going to use a daughter tool. It's got this really tiny end here. So I can get some super tiny little polka dots. And I'm just going to add them to the knot section in her headband. Okay. So there's that. Isn't that just cute? Love it. Okay. Then let's add a couple dots in the lace with our daughter. To kind of bring some white down in the dress to match the headband there. And then we're going to need a little bit of black. Get some black out. And I'm going to use the other side of this daughter. Let's just test it. Yeah. So what I'm going to do is actually, let's do the nose first. So for the nose, I'm using a daughter. I'm not actually going to paint it in. And I've got paint on the end of my dot here. And I'm going to do somewhat of a heart nose. So I'm going to start on one side and pull it down to a center, start on the other and pull it. And it's just the smallest of movements here. So dot and just a gentle pull. And a dot and a gentle pull. And it's a little bit lopsided, but that's okay. There we go. So I'm going to hold it up like this so maybe I can get this one a little more straight here. So we've got the little nose. And this one is really lopsided. So I'm going to pull my baby wipe. And a baby wipe acts like a great eraser. I'm just going to lift that nose right up off his face. And we can try again. And it makes it look like it's wet, but it's not. Okay. There we go. Sometimes you just gotta lift it up and point it towards yourself. Still a little lopsided, but it's all right. All right, then we can put their little eyes in now that we know where the nose is. And I'm just using this daughter to add little black eyes. Okay. All right, we're getting there, guys. I knew this set would take a while. Okay, we're gonna let these little faces dry and then we'll add their whiskers, but we can start gluing up our other pieces. So I'm gonna glue these little pants on. And then his little pocket. Okay. And then we can glue our flowers on. And these can really go anywhere you want. No rhyme or reason, just glue them on the leaves. There's that. And then while our faces are still drying, I am going to get my paper here and cut out a section for her dress or for her little skirt, I guess. Okay, so I'm just kind of deciding, you know, really what flowers I want to be displayed the most, and I really kind of want something that's got the pink and that mustardy yellow. So I'm trying to find the best place to find that. We've got these littler flowers that might look nice. Because it's such a small section, I don't want an area that is too big in the fact that it's going to, the pattern's not going to display very well. Okay. So I'm just going to trace along the bottom here to get started. And the scrapbooker in me is kind of like you're cutting right in the middle of paper. And when I say that, if you know what I mean, you know what I mean. I guess maybe that's the sewer in me where, you know, when you're cutting out a pattern or you try and maximize your cuts as best you can. I think that's perfect. She's got a little bit of some flowers happening there. I'm going to just trim it a little bit more. And maybe I'll just create a little bit of a wave at the top. So we have the look of a gathered skirt or pants, whatever they are. I always tend to think of stories as I'm making my pieces. I like to write stories for all my bunnies or tiered tray kits. But okay, so that is gonna be super cute. Just want to make sure. I think I'm good on the trim. Yep. Okay, so what I'm gonna use for this is just some Mod Podge. And I'll get a little bit out, and then I'm gonna get a brush, and I will brush it on for this bottom area here. And you could add some cute little embellishments to these kits. You could add some, I just had it, some ribbon onto the dress. You could add some buttons, you know, on the pants. You could add a couple buttons coming down here. But isn't that just sweet? Oh my gosh, so cute. Okay, let's finish these faces and then we can wrap it up. So what I'm going to use for the face, I am not going to try and paint that on. It is too small for my hands right now. They're super shaky. And so I'm just going to use a graphite pen, which is water and fade proof. You could also use a Sharpie. So you could use a fine tip Sharpie as well. So let's put some little eyebrows and then some whiskers. And then we'll pull a line down from the center of the nose and put a smile. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my daughter back out, and with the very small end, I'm going to drop a little white dot in their eyes. I like having a little bit of some white in their eyes so they don't look like they're just a blank stare. And if you had your eyes a little bit smaller, that would be fine too, but my eyes are a little bit bigger, so they needed something there. So, isn't she just so cute? She's so cute. Okay, let's do the little boy. Some eyebrows. Some whiskers, and a little mouth. And we'll add a little bit of some white to his eyes. And I don't know if I said this, but I got this daughter at the dollar store as well. I think you can get a pack of 2, or maybe these come in a pack of 2 and this is a single set, but these are both dollar store items, and they're great for the miscellaneous items you need while painting. Okay, so we'll glue the face on now. So let me know in the comments what you think. If you're catching this on the replay, let me know. And for those of you on TikTok, if you're just catching the end of it and missed the tutorial, head over to our Facebook group called Crafty Living. That's where this the full tutorial will live. And you also get special VIP coupons, and we do giveaways in that group. So lots of stuff happening in that group. And we'd love to have you. Okay, guys, what do you think of these cute little bunnies? Aren't they the sweetest little thing? So we've got the little boy bunny with his little crooked face. I guess it's not crooked. His face is kind of turned to the side, so it's all right. And then the little girl with her cute dress and bonnet. And those colors are so pretty. And then the bouquet of flowers with the matching colors. There we go, part 1. And I will try and get on tomorrow and finish the rest of the tiered tray kit. This is the banner that goes with it, and then the carrot cart, and we'll get on and finish those so we have a finished kit. So let me know if you like this style of kits or you like more of the words and whatnot. We have a couple different Easter kits on our website. And then tomorrow we are dropping more kits on the website. We're launching this set in particular and some items that go with it. So make sure to check that out. Thanks for watching, guys, and we'll chat with you later. Bye.